Well, firstly, congratulations. Have you won any awards like this before?
No, first one. So happy out.
How is it?
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Obviously gone well personally and as a team, so I can't ask for much more.
I was going to look a little bit at some of the stats for this September you've had. First of all, in the 4 games, I think you've had 15 shots. So does that sound like a lot? Does that feel like quite a lot for a striker at this level, sort of between 3 and 4 a game?
Not too sure, to be honest. Obviously, I don't really go around counting sort of all those things, but they're probably, if you're getting 3-4 shots a game, I suppose maybe it is a sign that you're probably getting in good positions to get the shots off. So yeah, no, I'll take it.
Does it feel like you're getting a lot of chances or getting that service, I guess?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm definitely getting a lot of service. I could probably have 1 or 2 more, according to Finn. So yeah, no, the service has been brilliant. I think, especially from both full-backs or wing-backs. Sorry, lads in midfield, and the way we're playing. I think playing out from the back, and obviously it's just creating loads, and we seem to be opening teams up quite a bit. So yeah.
What do you think has got that sort of understanding going between what's still quite a new look team?
I think it's just a mix of good players understanding, I suppose, what the manager and the coaches want. I think that's really all you can look at. I guess that we're all gelling to a specific style, and it's working so far.
And how kind of easy have they made it for you to sort of understand your role, what you need to do?
Quite a bit, as we do a lot of work pattern-wise, training throughout the week. So it's probably drilled into us at this stage of kind of different scenarios of what to do and when. So yeah, I would say we do know what we're doing.
That's good. I was looking at the goal you got against Barrow, I think, and in one sense it looks kind of quite simple because the defender's running with you, you stop, he doesn't, therefore, but as if by magic,
yeah,
you're in space. So how often do you have to kind of think about sort of little movements like that? Are they key to getting you the space to get you your chances?
It's probably one thing that Mark has said that's stuck with me quite a bit in terms of not necessarily coming against the flow inside that specific incident, but in terms of like if in general play, sometimes players have to come against the flow, and then I suppose I've probably just applied it to in the box, and then obviously I found quite a bit of space, as you said there, back 4 literally just dropped all the way into the 6 yard, and then obviously I was just free, and then yeah.
When you say get against the flow, can you explain that to the non-technically minded?
I suppose I just used that instance. Obviously Finn was going down the line, took a touch, and obviously all their defenders are probably going back to catch him, and then obviously if they're going one way, obviously I'll just pull the other way basically to where they were, and then obviously just created up some space.
Which of the September goals have you enjoyed the most?
I'm trying to think a bit of a refresh. Was the Crew one? Was Crew? No, we're in September now. I'll probably go the second one against Harrogate. I think it was a great ball by the skip. And obviously, a nice cut back inside and a nice strike. So I'll probably say that one.
Yeah, that's the one from the edge of the box.
Yes, yeah.
When you're on this sort of goal scoring run, are you in that sort of happy position where you're kind of not thinking about it too much? It all sort of flows to some extent. Is that the best sort of way to be?
Yeah, I think that in general, when people are playing the best, it's probably not necessarily just a striker scoring, but just in general, I think when people are playing well, it's just less thinking, like on the ball, and you're just kind of, as you said, like flowing with the game. So it's kind of similar when you get into those finishing positions. If it's more instinctive and you're not thinking, oh, it's exactly we're after, but exactly kind of overcomplicating, overthinking things. Yeah, it's definitely the place to be in that sort of headspace.
I guess the challenges? How do you sort of keep this run going?
Yeah, don't get me. If you said to me start the season, I always thought I could have a good season, but obviously it's got off probably better than I was expecting it to. And I suppose if you keep this sort of form going, obviously your numbers will be through the roof. So obviously I know it'll be tough, but if we continue playing the way we are and continue creating a lot of chances, and as you said, if you're getting 3-4 shots off a game, I'd like to think you'd score one. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, it'll definitely be difficult to sort of keep this up. But why not?
Is this kind of run of form you've had all the more pleasing given you're out at the end of last season? You've clearly had to work pretty hard to get back to fitness.
Yeah, I think I've said it kind of like numerous times now that before the injury last year, I felt in a sort of like a really good place, playing consistently, and obviously that injury kind of just come out of nowhere really. It was a bit of a weird one, and then back full pre-season, getting through full pre-season was big, and then kind of scoring early on in the season always gives forward players confidence, and kind of even started this year I've been consistently playing nearly every game, so hopefully it continues.
It's back to a bit of a more central role for you as well.
Yeah, obviously last year there was a lot on the right. This year I think I've played maybe once or twice out wide, so it's not necessarily that I mind, but obviously a lot of the goals have come from through the middle, so as I said, I'm kind of happy to play either or, but I suppose naturally been a striker, it's obviously nice to see some goals coming through the middle as well.
And we've just sort of had Brian Tafazoli in here who's talked fairly openly about the target has to be promotion given the start. Does it have to be, given you what ability you've shown?
The way we're feeling, I think everyone would say, yeah, don't get me wrong, it's still obviously early days, but I think if you block off points to the amount of games we've played, and kind of obviously if you do that every 10 games or whatever, it's definitely a sign of a promotion team. I think you obviously know a lot more when the games come thick and fast. Kind of, we have a lot of games this month coming into December, but I think each and every one of us would like to be champions come the end of the year.
And we've sort of kind of knocked around the phrase between us, kind of competition for places to almost to the point where it's getting ridiculous. But is that having an impact on you as well when you kind of look over your shoulder and see who could replace you if your form drops? Yeah,
I think when people go on about this, I think even if you look at all the best squads, even just say look at the top in the Premier League, like the players that they have in each position, backups, and that is frightening. So like you're always gonna, if you want to get somewhere, you're gonna have to have a really good squad. So I think obviously it just pushes everyone. Do you know what I mean? If you have the jersey and there's sort of the people who are on the bench at the time obviously want to start, so it's kind of you're going to do everything you can to obviously keep the jersey. So as long as it's healthy and it's pushing everyone, then it's really good.
And I guess you've been on the other side of that at Orient to some extent, where I think were mostly off the bench in their promotion season. Like you say, you kind of know how that is.
Yeah, definitely. That year was, I suppose, quite annoying. A lot of it was just kind of like going through a cycle of picking up injuries, and then obviously trying to, with a team winning, then you're kind of coming back, and you're just kind of getting minutes, and then obviously say when you do get a chance, break down again. So it is a tough if you're consistently in that position, but you've just got to keep going, I guess.
Oh, well, Johnny, nice chat.
Appreciate it, nice one.
First off, how's the Achilles?
Yeah, not too bad. It was just a bit of a weird one that sort of just come at me, and it just wouldn't. Normally with Achilles, it kind of goes away once it gets warm, but for whatever reason on that day, it's just decided not to go away.
You've had great runs of form before. I think that time against Leyton Orient, you scored a couple against Swindon. Does this feel like the best you played in your career? How are you feeling about that one?
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. I think it's definitely it's kind of similarities. I think during those times we're both good teams, kind of playing similar styles, and it's suiting me. So I'd definitely probably say it's the best form I've been in, and so really confident I can keep it going.
You got the chance to be the third Swindon player ever to score in 7 straight games. Does that kind of thing mean much to you as a player, or you just kind of want to go out and win?
Yeah, main thing is go out and win. And don't get me wrong, if it does happen next weekend, obviously I'll be chuffed. But the main thing is obviously just keep winning and keep ourselves up in those good positions in the league.
And when you think back to that time towards the end of last season when you were kind of having to prove your fitness, what kind of things did you kind of have to put yourself through to get to make sure that you stuck around this year?
Once I got injured, you mean?
After the injury, yeah.
After the injury, it was that was a case of I had to continue basically doing rehab throughout the summer. Might have sort of had a week or two off, but more or less the whole summer was sort of like rehabbing, and so as such I didn't really stop or get a full sort of break, because obviously I had 3 months off at the back of last season. So yeah, it was just a lot of your typical sort of off-season work, and just making sure like the knee was right, because obviously it's one place you really don't want to injure. So no, it was a lot of work in the off-season.
Lastly, Ronaldo, thoughts?
No thoughts. I mean, it's funny to hear, and when you're walking and people saying it and stuff. It's just funny.
Thank you very much.
No problem.